Yo guys, welcome to RenderRam. My name is Jacob and today we're gonna cover 5 super obvious features that you either knew your whole life or you discovered them just now after 700 years of using 3ds Max. So let's dive deeper into the known, unknown depths of 3ds Max. Our first feature is going to be a super cool Swift Loop hidden shortcut. I believe a lot of you know what Swift Loop is, so in case you don't, if you go to the modeling section of the ribbon, here you can see Swift Loop. You need to be in editable poly mode, and what Swift Loop does, it basically enables you to create all these nice cool edge loops. But what is this nice shortcut that I'm talking about? So when you're in the Swift Loop mode, and let's say you create your Swift Loop here, after it's created, if you hold Ctrl Alt, you will see that this line for creating additional Swift Loop just disappears. And then if you long press on the left mouse button, you can move that Swift Loop and it will kind of inherit the look of its closest edge. So this is a really cool feature if you want to add some consistent support loops to your mesh. Our next feature is going to be plane render multiplier. So whenever you create any plane, you know how V-Ray has that infinite plane that you can create? Well, you can do that in Max. So what do I mean by that? Let's say you create a plane like this, but for your scene, you would like your plane to actually be this big, but this is kind of not handy because it's hard to navigate all the objects since this plane is really this big. So what you can do, if you go to your plane properties and you go to render multipliers section, you have a scale there. So look at this. I'm gonna type scale from 1 to 50. As you can see, in the viewport is still a little plane, but in our render, we're gonna have a plane that's actually 50 times bigger than these dimensions. Our next feature is gonna be measure distance. So there's multiple ways of measuring stuff in Max, like how something is tall, big, wide, etc. A lot of time, for example, when I'm in a hurry, I'm just gonna click on this plane, and if I need to measure a distance from here to here, I'm just gonna create a plane, place it here, I'm gonna read what the distance is, and that's it. You can also do it with the tape here. There's multiple ways of doing it, but there's this one cool trick. If you go to tools, you have measure distance here. So how does it work? Click on measure distance, select your first point, select your second point, and here you're gonna see the distance. So the distance here is 20.7 centimeters. Now, after you did measuring a couple of times, you might be lost in what numbers did you see, what was the previous number, etc. If you press F11, you're gonna open up the Max script listener, and here it's gonna show you all the latest distances that you measured. Another cool thing is this also works with the snap. So for example, if I activate my snap and go to tools, measure distance, I can snap from here to here, and it's gonna say that this is 10 centimeters long. Cool thing is this also of course works in 3D space. So if you go to measure distance from here to here, you're gonna get your distance. Our next cool feature is gonna be print size assistant. Now, what the hell is a print size assistant? If you go to your rendering menu, here you can see print size assistant. Now, what does that do? For example, recently I was told that I need to render my images in A3 format on 300 API. So you can go to your print size wizard and just scroll down until you find the dimension you're looking for. In our case, it's A3 format. You click on 300 API. Here you can see the dedicated resolution, and you can switch from landscape to portrait and just click on the render setup button. Once you click there, you can see that resolution is automatically applied to your render settings. Just keep in mind, in case you press render button, it will just start rendering the image. Our last feature is going to be fill and fill holes. Now, this is a modeling technique. What does it do? Let's say you need to select carefully, like selection like this, and from here to here, and from here to here, and then from there to there. And you need to generally select this whole entire area. Did you know that you can actually like paint bucket select this area? So how do you do it? If you go to your modeling section in your ribbon, in the modify selection settings, you have fill hole and you have fill. So what do these do? I'm gonna first demonstrate the fill hole. Whichever area you want to fill, you need to kind of show the program where do you want filling to be. Just select a random polygon inside this area, go to modify selection, click on fill hole, and it's gonna do this. Now, if you place that guiding polygon, for example, here, and you click here and go fill hole again, it's gonna fill the rest of it. Now, what is fill? So there's an easier way of doing this. For example, you click here, you click there, go to modify selection, and just click fill, and it's gonna do this. And that's it for today, guys. I hope you learned something new today. If not, you'll learn something new tomorrow. So see you in the next video. Bye.